Hey, Shalom. I like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. I like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutation, and blessings to the elect who firmly believe on Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. I'm going to entitle this lesson, The Cherry of America Will Be Popped. The cherry of America will be popped. And this is alluding to Isaiah the 47th chapter, in which they entitle America the virgin daughter of Babylon. Now America is the daughter of Babylon because they mimic some of the culture that ancient Babylon had when it came to certain customs. And the virgin daughter part of it is no real actual war has taken place on American soil to the point of being invaded, being taken over, right, and conquered and destroyed. However, that's what's on the way. Destruction, is on the way to Babylon the Great, also known as America. Invasion, is on the way to Babylon the Great, also known as America. A famine, complete chaos to where there's going to be sedition amongst men. There's a lot of perils that's coming on the soils of America, and we see the prelude to these things happening now, due to the hooks being put back into Russia's jaws with the attempt to invade Ukraine. You got a lot of, you got China over there, looking to invade Taiwan, so a lot of these countries on that side of the world is looking to expand, and they pretty much want to do away, with the um, Western, let's say, point of view, or the currency, for lack of better terms, and what's going to end up happening is Third World War, to defend the dollar, to defend the dollar. They're going to end up going into a Third World War. You know, um, Israel Israel is going to be they're going to go into Iraq, you know, and not Iraq, Iran, wage war in Iran, and it's all going to lead up to the third World War, so these tensions, are building up, and the sanctions in which America has upon Russia, is crippling their economy on that side, messing up their stock market, and no deed goes unpunished, right? So we in that time, we in that time to where, you know, America, you know, will be invaded, thus saith the Lord. So let me start at Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." That's right, sit in the dust, because the dust, that also represents that confusion. You throw sand in somebody's eyes, they're unable to see. They're confused on their whereabouts, right? So sometimes somebody just need to sit down for them to get the picture. In boxing, when a round is over, you be getting your ass kicked. You're in a confused state. Guess what you got to do? You got to sit down in that corner and take that advice in which the trainer is giving you. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne. That's right. There is no kingdom. These devils, these Edomites, pursuing a Psalm 49 and 11. Matter of fact, let me grab that real fast. Psalm 49 and 11. So, the prophets were set up to reprove the thoughts of Edom. That's why they hate us so bad. Psalm 49 and 11, it says, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." Right? But the part I want to focus on is that their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. and their dwelling places to all generations. Well, the Lord just told you, you devils, in Isaiah, the 47th chapter, that there's no throne. So how can your house continue forever when there's no throne? How can your house go from generation to generation when there's no throne? Right? It says, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. For an example, America was notified as the land of opportunity, home of the free, land of the brave. you know. Everybody, they even got a movie coming to America, with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, in which, they wanted to come to America for a better life, essentially for Akeem to find his bride. When he had something more plush in his own land. He pretty much wanted a woman with an attitude, essentially, right? But, America is going to end up turning into a third world country. We see the gas prices rising at an alarming rate. Um, Inflation has risen up to 7.5%. So America's beginning this food shortages. So America's becoming, there's a lot of injustice going on with so-called Negroes being killed. So the country looks bad. The country looks like, they're in a bad shape. And it's going to get worse. It's going to be cannibalism out here. It's going to be all types of madness. So America's soon going to become a place that's no longer going to be called tender and delicate, right? It says, take the millstones and grind mill. And that's what we're doing. We putting this work in, beginning with the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. All the men of Great Millstone is putting that work in. And apostles, you know, made mention a few times on how that name was given to them through the Spirit. They didn't even call themselves a Great Millstone. It says, take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the high, pass over the rivers. And that's what we're doing. We're exposing this devil. We're exposing this Edomite for who he is. We're exposing him for what his intentions are, and we're exposing him of his new world order agenda. We're exposing him on all levels. What's that? Jeremiah, I believe it's 49. Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. This is why the so-called white man is running from his biblical name. Because the scriptures doesn't speak too well of him. Here it is. He's been claiming himself to be God's chosen people, but who he is in actuality, he's attempting to run from, because he don't want to be found out to be the devil, in which the Bible speaks of. It says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. He is unable to hide himself. You got guys like Kanye West going on these major platforms exposing who the true Israelites are according to the Bible. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. I believe Big Sean made mention of it. Floyd Mayweather made mention of the Israelites. Carmelo Anthony. So the truth is out there. The truth is out there. There's no way you can, cover this thing up. Even Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, he received some backlash, for exposing the inkling of the truth. But these are the times that we live in. These are the times in which we are living in. So through the spirit of power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we will continue to expose you devils. The scriptures say, for I will destroy him with the spirit of my mouth, then with the brightness of my coming. And that's what's happening, on a global scale. On a global scale, right? These devils have something called, the Georgia Guidestones, in which they want to maintain population at 500 million. And beginning with Bill Gates, they were going to use vaccines, if you know what I mean, to, depopulate the earth, and a portion of that has been coming into play, due to, the pandemic and things of that nature, but as they say, as Bill Gates said, there's going to be a pandemic worse than what recently just happened. Right. So we expose these things. We expose the narrative. That's why, videos get taken down, channels get taken down, medical misinformation, things of that nature. Because the truth is coming out. You got people on on the internet speaking on these things, but when you marry it with the scriptures, oh, it's a problem, right? So, we're in that time, this is all alluding to the decimation of Babylon the Great. This is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 3. It says, Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yes, yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. And that's heavy. The Lord is going to take vengeance. We're not taking vengeance into our own hands. We're spiritual men. We understand that we have to wait upon the Lord until he rises up to the prey. So it says, I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. So the Lord is coming as an extraterrestrial being, pretty much a celestial being, but on the terrain. So he's not going to meet you as a man. It says, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel, not Edom, not Ham, not Japheth, not Moab, not Ammon, but the Holy One of Israel. He's our power, It says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms, because America is that great whore that sitteth upon many nations. And to get into that real quick, let me get Revelation 17, right? All right, this is Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. It says, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And the judgment of that whore is talking about America. But just to prove, when it says the Lady of Kingdoms, that coincides with the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And I just want to jump to the 15th verse real quick. Right. It says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are people and multitudes and nations and tongues. So that's what makes up kingdoms. So America is no longer going to be considered the Lady of Kingdoms, in whom, everybody wants to attach themselves to. That's all coming to an end. Isaiah 47 and 6, I was wroth with my people. The Lord was angry with the Israelites. Why? Because we transgressed the law, statutes, and commandments. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. That's right. So what? We lost our identity. We lost who we are as a people. We fell victim to drugs. We fell victim to gang banging, prostitution, overconsumption of liquor, killing one another. We became polluted, eating terrible foods, right? Eating unlawful foods, right? So it says, I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hands. So the Lord gave us into these devils' hands, It says, thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient, hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. So these Edomites didn't show us any type of mercy. Look at, slavery, even up until this very day, there's no mercy being shown. And even when there is mercy being shown, it's for your benefit and to further cripple us. Like the scriptures say, the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Like anything that this Edomite is giving out free is for a cruel nature. It's dead set to bring death and destruction upon you. And then he also makes you, he promotes going to college to where you're in debt well over 100 grand, and that furthermore polluted your mind and spirit. So this Edomite has to go. He has to go. Nor did they regard, the ancient in age. They laid a heavy yoke upon them as well. It says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. So what? Essentially, you Edomites were so caught up in establishing the New World Order and with the intent that it was going to be successful. However, you didn't consider the latter end of it, even though it's being told of you, because the Lord still allows you to have certain power in your hand, and you're conjuring these demons, and they're giving you a full assurance that your agenda is going to be successful. You know, like the scriptures say, the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. You know, so even though it's being told to you, you Edomites can't grasp the fact. Even though we're telling you that you're going to fail, you still believe that you're going to win. This is Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So you Edomites are going to face a great disappointment, at the end of this thing, because that's when the Heavenly Father is going to start making his chess moves. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, which is what technology, essentially, right? The same missiles in which you created, and you swear by and you test out, that's going to be your demise, man. You know, the Lord got 200 million missiles coming upon this place, man. Sheesh. It says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. So we're at the end of this thing. We're at the end of this thing. We get Jeremiah 51. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 8. Let's start at 7. Jeremiah 51, 7. Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. That's right. Everybody wanted to come to America. Everybody wanted to come to America. Everybody wanted to live it up in America. From its entertainment, to its sports, to Hollywood, to the culture, that's that golden cup, man. And all the earth, drank off of the philosophies of America. They took hold of America's nature. A lot of these foreign countries now, you got same-sex marriages, guy on guy, girl on girl, women aren't staying true to their culture when it comes to wrapping up their hair or wrapping up, period, wearing dresses. Now they're wearing pants and showing off their hair. This is what's happening. America has influenced, the whole earth. It says that the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Because why? The nations have lost control of his people, because now these people are following the ways of America via social media, because of social media, because of the TV. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain? If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So there's no stimulus plan that's going to bring back, the financial independence of Babylon, also known as America. There's going to be no bailouts. What they're going to further continue to do is print more money, give out more loans. With all of those loans being distributed as the pandemic started, that was an excuse to print more money to further devalue the dollar, and it's going to end up crippling the dollar because they want to bring a one world currency. That's the objective of all of these nations. They're playing ball. They're on the same side. It says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh, our power. Make bright, Salakia. Make bright the arrows, which is talking about nuclear missiles. Gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirits of the kings of the Medes, right? His devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. So this is what's happening, man. These are why these series of events are happening, because prophecy has to be fulfilled. And you can, do a test, ask the average American, do you see World War III happening? Do you see America winning? You just ask, see what the mindset of the American people are these days. Um, Verse 12, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. So we're in that time, man. We're in that time. That cherry is about to get popped, man. Every dog has its day. Matthew 4:1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So nothing's going to come out of Babylon the Great after this place is decimated. There's going to be no root nor branch coming from this place, yet it's going to be used as a memorial, as a sign, as a witness to never live disorderly again. Just like Sodom and Gomorrah, was an example. America will be an example. America will be an example. Let me close out with what's that? Two parts. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. It says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be less therein. That's right. It's getting into Israel, 2/3 is going to die, 1/3 will be delivered. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. And we're going through that process now. With the hell that we catch. It says they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is my power. And that's what we're going through. Believing on the Lord, having faith, doing these works. That's going to be our ticket out of the destruction of Babylon the Great, as well as the surrounding countries in which brothers may dwell. We in that time, man. So we in a moment in time to where Babylon the Great will be getting the cherry popped, the virgin daughter of Babylon, and may we be around to see the fall of our enemies. That's one of the things the Lord deems joyous. So with that, Lord willing, I've been edifying, and Lord willing, you have been edified. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutation, and blessings to the elect who firmly believe on Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Shalom.